Sponsored by JB Transmission. Specializing in foreign and domestic repairs, trust JB for all your performance needs. Check us out at www.jbtransmission.com or visit us at 256 St. Mary's Road in Winnipeg. This video production is sponsored by RD Sales and Service Limited. We service what others sell. For all mechanical repairs, trust our professionals. RD Sales and Service is a proud sponsor of the number 17 Super Truck and Sprint Car.
In the 50 car, this is Alan Cito. So 8 laps. We have a total of 7 super stocks, and the green flag's out. We are racing. Right to the lead goes the King Insurance 55 of Mike Martin, the current points leader in this division for 2012. Walt Morris moving quickly from the 4th starting spot to 3rd. Walt Morris right to the top of the racetrack, trying to find some traction up there as Mike Martin, the leader, speeds away down the back chute. Paul Veert's right there. Of course, Paul competes in several classes, including the Midwest Modified Division on Monday nights. Alan Cito in the 50 car underneath the 14 of Balkan.
Remember now, this lines up the inside row for our main event. The winner of this one starts in the number 1 starting spot for our mid-season championship feature. And that's why these heat races mean plenty here tonight. Whoa, Alcido spins it around in the front straightaway, stalls the car. Those cars are awful hard to get out of gear. He fires it now, but those cars use the Burt transmission, which actually locks. When the car is in high gear, it's locked 1-to-1 with the crankshaft. So if the tach says 6,500 RPM, then the transmission's turning at 65. The drive shaft or wheels, of course, don't because they're geared slightly differently, but 50 of Alcido heads to the pit area. We have 5 laps remaining on the Pepsi board. Mike Martin has won a championship in the Superstock division. I know at least one. I'm not sure. It could be more. My apologies if I'm messing that up. He's sponsored by Lettingham GM, River Overhead Door, bumpers on 52, Steinbeck Towing, and King Insurance. Some of the sponsors on Mike's 55. Well, the second place car has lane choice, and Paul Veert chooses the inside, a wise choice. The Veert Landscaping, Budweiser, Kissel Realty, number 88. That leaves third place Walt Morris, nowhere to go but the outside of row 2. We have 5 remaining. This lines up the inside row for our main event, so everybody wants to better it by every spot they can get going. Here we go. Paul Veert working the bottom in the 88. Walt Morris working the high side in the 9. And there is more traction at the top of turns 1 and 2 than there is up there in 3 and 4. Walt Morris up high in the 9, and whoa, almost loses the handle on it, but he holds on to the number 3 spot by a bumper. Mike Martin is showing the way. He started first, and he has stayed there. Paul Veert started second, and he has stayed there, but the race right now is for 3rd and 4th place. Oh, we got a yellow flag, and I didn't see why. There's Rob Gordon on the back straightaway, and the 5X. St. Vital Electric 5X spun at the bottom of turn 2. Don't forget to grab a 50-50 ticket. Can't win if you're not in. We need Melvin Cruz. Oh, okay. All right, thanks, Blair. All right, so we get a push truck over to give Rob Gordon's 5X a push back to the pit area. We go to the side-by-side start now, 3 to go. 50-50 tickets, 5 for $3, 10 for $5, 30 for $10. Last week's prize was over $2,100. That only happens one way. You got to buy tickets. And I know if it comes down to you and me, your chances are very good because I never win them, but I always buy them. And the guys do a great job of selling tickets. The Stanwyck family, the Delane gang, and the Snow Stomper Snowmobile Club. We want to say thank you to those guys. We are going racing. George Balkin with a run off the high side of the racetrack. He takes a run at Walt Morris in the 9, but it doesn't work. Walt Morris in the 9 car is third and holds on to that third spot right now. Balkin looks inside there, door to door down the front straightaway. Third place, it's George Balkin. In the 14, up to the cushion, and whoa. So this time by, the white flag will fly. 1 lap to go, 1 to go. And the best race in the place is for the back spot. First and last is where the racing is right now. Mike Martin in the 55. He's in through 3 and into turn 4. Now half a straightaway to go to get the checkers. How about a hand for your winner, everybody? Mike Martin in the 55. Second spot goes to second place starter Paul Veert. Third to George Balkin, who started third. Gronheid started in the 5th spot and grabs 4th. And Walt Morris rounds out the top 5. Well, Mike Martin drives the Fagers chassis. They build their own motors. And that is sponsored by Lettingham GM, Reimer Overhead Door. Crazy Larry Signs and Graphics, King Insurance, bumpers on 52. And Martin's Diesel Service. There is your winner. So that finish is the inside row for the start of our Superstock main event. Now we will line up the outside row, and they line up in Heat 2 this way. On the pole in the Adventures Kawasaki 05, it's Donnell DeRoche. To his outside in the Penner Paint and Performance, number 20, it's Kevin Penner. Inside row 2 is the 5 car. Rod Fiddler starts inside row 2 in the car number 5. He's sponsored by Chuds in Gimli. To his outside, it's the, thank you, Curtis Carpets, Fawcett Auto Body, Superior Trust, Birchwood GM. Number 71 of Rick Fawcett. Inside row 3, it's Tabitha Wasiluk in the Grainmaster number 4. To her outside, the 4S, a driver moving up from the Lightning Sprint division. The 4S is Bob Saindon in the St. Anne Auto Body entry. And on the back, Bevan Cornelison in the Dirty Dozen. That is the lineup for Heat 2. And how they finish this race lines up the outside row of our Superstock main event. Lined up and ready to race, Donnell DeRoche will bring him to the green. Green flag. Kevin Penner finds the high side, but does he go high enough to get a hold of that traction? Not quite. Fiddler cuts to the bottom in the 5 car. He gets inside Rick Fawcett, 71. Great racing, the front 6 spots there. DeRoche's running the string out now in the 0-5, but Kevin Penner within striking distance. Look at the race for third place. The 5 of Fiddler, the 71 of Fawcett, and Fawcett, the Curtis Carpet Birchwood GM number 71, is your third place car at this point. We have a yellow flag on the track, and I didn't see who it was for. Well, we have a tow truck out there. Oh, is it debris? Debris in turn 3. I thought the debris might have been that tow truck, but I guess not. It's hard to know whether you send a truck like that out on the track if it leaves more than it picks up, but I guess we're good this time. So, 5 laps to go. So the Adventures Power Sports Kawasaki 05 is your leader with 2 laps officially in the book and 6 remaining. Donnell DeRoche has the restart lead. Second spot is the 20 of Kevin Penner. Now, what lane is he going to choose? He has lane choice. He can choose the inside or the outside and leaves the other for the third place car. Kevin wants the outside. That's a good pick, in my opinion, if he can get up high enough, way up to the top of the racetrack in turn 1 and take advantage of some of that traction up there, because you're going to need to take the lead coming out of turn 2 because there's not near the traction on the back straightaway and the turns 3 and 4 as there is in turns 1 and 2. 1 lap to green. They all head across the hot, fresh pizza scale. These cars must weigh no less than 2,800 pounds. And weigh as much as you like. You can't weigh less than 28. There's all kinds of ways these drivers can get creative, and one of the ways to maximize traction is with a rear end device that's called a gold track. It is actually illegal, but our tech guys are often checking for them just to make sure that the guys are not using them. These rear ends are supposed to be locked, so the rear wheels turn at exactly the same speed on both sides. Back to green for King Septic Service. Kevin Penner way up there in 1 and 2, but I'm not sure he doesn't need to go a foot higher to grab onto the real sticky stuff up there. Rick Fawcett working the bottom in that blue and white 71 car. Bottom seems to be where everybody wants to be except Penner. Trying the high side in turn 1. Great racing for second and third and fourth and fifth spot. Everybody wants the best starting spot possible for our Super Stock main event. Look at the race for second place. 71 of Fawcett, the 20 of Penner. What a great race. For second and third place with just 2 laps to go. Rod Fiddler off the pace in the 5 car. He looks to be slowing. Oh, he's back on the gas. Looked like he was slowing up to head into the pit area, but not so. The race for second place continues. The 2 blue and white cars, that we wouldn't know if they did touch sides because they're both the same color. Kevin Penner way up the top, and he finally got a little bit of that traction up there. So the guy starting on the outside of the front row in the Super Stock main event a little while later tonight is the 05 Donnell DeRoche. The Adventures Power Products Kawasaki number 05. Starting second row outside and second place finisher in this race, the 20 of Kevin Penner. The third place finisher, the 71 of Rick Fawcett. Finishing fourth, the 4 car, that's Tabitha Wasiluk. And rounding out the top 5 is the 12 car, and that is Cornelison. We go now to lightning sprint action. They are lined up in the staging area.